Hi, I'm Nick and welcome to the video overview for the tennis ball basketball momentum demonstration. This demonstration will show students how momentum can be transferred between two objects in a closed system. Students will observe how two objects interact in terms of transfer of momentum when the mass of one object is significantly greater than that of the other object. The purpose of this demonstration is to relate transfer of momentum to conservation of momentum in a closed system. This experiment is performed by having one student hold the meter stick vertically while another student holds the tennis ball and basketball. The student holding the tennis ball and the basketball will drop both of the balls at the same time from the top of the meter stick. The heights they reach will serve as the control. Here is an example of this experiment. In the experiment, both of the balls hit the floor at the same time and bounce to about the same height. Now, hold the tennis ball on top of, or about 2 inches above, the basketball and release them at the same time. Here is an example of this experiment. As you can see, after the basketball hits the ground, the basketball bounces less than it originally bounced, and the tennis ball bounces off of the basketball a lot higher than it originally bounced. These differences in height occurred because momentum was transferred from the basketball to the tennis ball. Alright, so let's review with some discussion questions. Based on the second trial in this demonstration, which ball had more initial momentum? Why? Well, the basketball had more momentum since it was much more massive than the tennis ball, and both balls had the same velocity at any point in their free fall. Momentum is equal to mass times velocity, so logically the object with the greater mass has greater momentum. Assuming this is a closed system, is momentum conserved? Yes, momentum is conserved, because momentum was transferred from one ball to the other, but not lost, since there is no net external force acting on the system. If we perform the last experiment again, instead putting the tennis ball on the bottom, what would happen? The tennis ball would transfer what little momentum it has to the basketball, such that the tennis ball would barely bounce, if at all, and the basketball would bounce a little bit higher than it did in the control experiment. If we replace the basketball with a ball which has a much greater mass and dropped it and the tennis ball with the tennis ball on the bottom, what would happen? Well, because the larger ball would be so massive relative to the tennis ball would not transfer a significant amount of momentum to it. Therefore, the large ball would most likely see a negligible increase in height or no increase at all. This concludes this video presentation.